Emotions floating all around, smoke the pain, igniting the hope.
Hai,
Skip the question of once,
hai Wan.
going on, embracing life with no clue.
Uh,
Be
they
in
are
the moment,
sama di record.
see.
There are two CG that I miss. So I think I know which one that I miss. This is my
Wipe your tears down
this is
from
my
your
last where I stop.
another chapter falls.
Alright, let's play this one. Kill the eyeball. So
没
this
必
is
要再自找
the
麻烦
child
了，
that I watch.
直接去抹香鲸标本那儿，把手里的眼球解决了。
There is no need to create extra trouble. I hit to the sperm whale specimen and deal with the eyeball there.
好，我跟你一起去。跟看门的说我是抹香鲸小组的研究员，他就会让我们进去的。
Alright, I accompany you. I let the staff know I am a researcher from the original team. They grant us
不
access.
过你的小宠物最好别一起去，毕竟要跟人打照面，以防万一吧。
But I was against bringing your pet along. There will be people around, and it's better to avoid unnecessary attention. Hearing this, Pallion immediately turned around, jumped onto the sofa, and curled up into a ball.
很明显对我们的话有反应，而且也有情绪，等不及要研究研究它了。
It is clear Pallion understands human language and even has emotions. I can't wait to study it in depth someday.
好了，出发之前还有什么想问的吗？如果急着走，也可以等到之后再聊，你决定。
Is there anything else you want to ask before we head out? If you are in a rush, we can discuss it later. It is entirely up to you. That's all to us. There is all to us. Oh no, someone WhatsApp me. I don't. There is all to us. There is all to us. Yeah, I reply it back after stream. There is all to us.
没什么想问的，现在就出发去海底世界找抹香鲸的标本吧。
I don't have anything else to ask. Let's head to the underwater world and find this whale specimen.
好，走吧。
Alright, let's get going. After the investigation into the missing eyeball concluded, oh, this is different than the other choice. The other choice lead to the me release one diving into the water to find the arduous counterpart for the eyeball. And this one is to kill the eyeball. After the investigation into the missing eyeball concluded, the enclosure of the underwater world by the police was more symbolic than enforced. Lu Wenshu pulled out a work ID and waved it a few times. The official seal of Agric University on the white card caught the attention of the sleepy security guard, who quickly led the two of them into the car room without question.
刘璇，你也看得出来，我的工作是居无定所，到处跑的。
You see, my job requires me to move around a lot.
所以每到一个新城市，我就要找机会去当地的水族馆看看。真没想到来路程的会是这种情况。
Oh, it's nice. I didn't really play this guy. This other road. So whenever I end up in a new city, I always find a chance to visit the local aquarium. But I never expected things to turn out like this when I came to Agric City.
那当初怎么不去研究海洋动物呢？
Then why didn't you study marine animals in the first
要
place?
吃饭的吗？
I've got a mouth to feed. Oh, so Then why didn't you study marine animals in the first place? Then why didn't you study marine animals in the first place? I've got a mod. She chuckled as she spoke, her reflection faintly visible in the dim light of the fish tanks. The tired look on her face appeared even more pronounced.
如果能看到一些少见的鱼，我倒是也有兴趣。
I'd be interested if I could see some rare
你
fish.
家里养着的宠物已经够少见了，不过我估计一会儿就能满足你的愿望。
Rare, you already have Pelion at home, but I think your wish will be fulfilled in a moment. They continued chatting casually as they descended the spiral staircase that worked its way down around a large cylindrical fish tank. At the bottom was the entrance to the sperm whale specimen museum. For this one, however, the steps, while designed to be gentle, felt like a sheer cliff. Each step grew harder as her legs became heavier and more unresponsive.
眼球感觉到和原本的身体越来越近，想尽快吸取养分。
As the eyeball sensed it's getting closer to its body, is it trying to drain more energy from me? As the eyeball sensed it's getting closer to its body. Oh, this one wanted to kill the eyeball, so the eyeball wants to drain this one energy so that because the eyeball didn't want to kill the other was going to cut. Her breathing grew labored as she bent over, placing her hands on her knees for support. Seeing her struggle, but in the good road, where this one need to dive into the seawater, that one that the eyeball didn't retaliate. Her breathing grew labored as she bent over, placing her hands on her knees for support. Seeing her struggle when she quickly turned back and slung Luisman's arm over her shoulders.
再坚持一会儿，就快到了。我帮你擦汗。
Just hang in there. We are almost there. Let me wipe the sweat for you. She dabbled at the sweat on Luisman's forehead with her sleeve. The faint smell of tobacco on the fabric momentarily cleared Luisman's mind.
谢了。
Thanks.
没事儿，现在你可是甲方，我不得好好伺候你啊。
It is nothing. After all, you are my client now. I have to take care of you. Luisman managed a faint smile through her exhaustion. With Luenshu's help, she finally made it to the entrance of the sperm whale specimen museum. Luisman lifted her head and saw a double image flashing across the sperm whale specimen. The discomfort in her palm quickly turned into excruciating pain.
怎么样？他现在有反应了吗？
So how did it go? Any reaction? Luisman clutched her left wrist, struggling to breathe. She could almost hear the sound of the muscles in her palm tearing apart.
不行，要先让陆文树。
One of the eyeballs started to get aggressive. This is bad. I need to keep Luenshu away from me for safety. Luisman had no idea what would happen next. If the eyeball were to burst out and turn its attack on Luenshu, she had no strength left to protect. That prey would be Doctor.
走开！
Step back. Luisman pushed Luenshu away and collapsed to her knees. Blood began pouring from her palm, gushing like a fountain from a hood well.
吕轩，
This one, or this is the other root. The other root kind of dangerous. Luenshu rushed behind her, supporting her whip, and happened turn Luisman's hand toward the sperm whale specimen. The eyeball twisted violently within the black hole. So when one of the if the creature had seen the other counterpart, actually they will disappear. They cannot exist at the same time. The eyeball twisted violently within the black hole. Bloodshot. That's why this one wanted to bring the eyeball to its activist counterpart so that it can kill this eyeball. The eyeball twisted wildly within the black hole, its bloodshot veins bleeding across the white light cracks in the shattered surface. It continued to grow, causing the sun's skin to crack open with blood seeping from the damaged muscles.
不行，你的肉会被撑坏的。
Oh no. This is not good. If it keeps going, your palm is going to be torn apart.
不，我能感觉。
You can feel it. In her mind, it was like the hull of a cruise ship splitting open, seawater flooding the cabin, but the ship still refused to sink. The swan gritted her teeth and ended the pain. She shifted her body. Moving closer to the stone-waste specimen, several optic nerve-like tentacles emerged from the hole in her palm, burrowing deep into the specimen's empty eye socket. The tentacles seemed to dig in, using the specimen as leverage to pull the entire eye. The tentacles seemed to dig in, using the specimen as leverage to pull the entire eyeball free. The eye socket responded in kind, contracting and expanding rapidly, while a rush of darkness briefly enveloped Lucian's palm. A wave of pain from the tongue would come crashing over her again and again. Then, with a sudden pop, the eyeball was pulled out of her hand and slotted into the specimen's eye socket. One half knelt on the ground, blood still trickling on her palm where her skin had torn. But compared to before, it was much better. Lucian shook out her hands, stood up and regained her composure.
成功了，感觉好多了吧？
It worked. It worked. Do you feel better now?
没事了，但还没完吧？你说的可是要杀死他。
It is okay, but it's not over yet. You said you wanted to kill
别
it.
急，
Not so fast. When she turned her gaze toward the ceiling,
快来了，我们离标本远点。
it's coming. Let's move away from the specimen. When she raised her hands to shield Lucian, and the two slowly began to retreat, their eyes scanning the room above them. Suddenly, a sharp sound echoed from outside the window, growing louder with each passing second. It was clear that something was approaching rapidly from the air.
这声音力度很大，不行，
So, as that, this sound tells it is big time. Without hesitation, Lucian grabbed Lu Wenshu by the Without hesitation, Lucian grabbed Lu Wenshu by the back of her collar and yanked her forward. They quickly sprinted a few steps before launching themselves into the air. Just as they were still mid-flight, a colossal monster crashed through the column's wall and plummeted into the specimen hall. Dust and debris exploded in every direction, and torrential rain poured into the room through the newly formed gap. Walking through the haze, Lucian waved her hand, clearing away the dust that had clouded her vision. As she rose to her feet, she saw what appeared to be a massive whale skeleton sprawled across the specimen museum floor. With her hand, clearing away the dust that clouded her vision. As she rose to her feet, she saw what appeared to be a massive whale skeleton sprawled across the specimen museum floor. One country shared over what was spoken. Oh, so the center of the skull lay an eyeball surrounded by muscle tissue that had begun to grow around it, reminiscent of the mythical Cyclops. The skull trembled, cracking as it opened and closed, emitting a sound of bones grinding together. The stone-waste skeleton in front of it was also showing signs of life, slowly regaining vitality from the nutrients absorbed from Lucian, and was attempting to break free from the ropes that had kept it bound in
那个
place.
骨架就是有光真有。
Is that skeleton the glowing ray?
对，就是它。
Yes,
应该很
there
快
is
就
it.
结束了。
The end is near. As Luenshu had predicted, the skeleton of the glowing ray closed its mouth. The muscles around its head continued to fall off, and the eyeball rolled to the ground like a deflated. As Luenshu had predicted, the skeleton of the glowing ray closed its mouth. The muscles around its head continued to fall off, and the eyeball rolled to the ground like a deflated balloon, unable to maintain its original shape. The skeleton quickly transitioned from white to grey, and before long it was destroyed by the wind and rain, crumbling into fine dust that floated into the air.
变成灰了，这样算消失了吗？
It all turned to dust. Is it completely gone?
对，作为外来者的他会进入这里的生态循环，成为这个世界的一部分。
Yes, as a visitor, it enters the ecological cycle here and becomes a part of this world.
而原本就是这个时空的抹香鲸，就单纯一些，只是死亡而已。
Meanwhile, the sperm whale that originally existed in this time and space was simpler. It just died. This one turned her gaze to the specimen. The other eyeball, now embedded in the eye socket, quickly lost its blood color, and the optic nerve slipped out and dropped. The eyeball's pupil slowly turned to focus on this one. She didn't want to admit it, but raindrops gathered around her eyes, almost as if she were crying.
就算真的在哭，也不是悲伤，而是恨意。
Even if I am crying, I know it's not out of sadness, but out of hate. The pupil of the eyeball began to dilate, and its vitality has fully drained.
这样就行了。
That it?
这样就行了。
There is it. Luansu patted Lucian's shoulder, smiling as if she had emerged victorious from a tough competition. Just then, the aquarium staff and the sleepy security guard rushed in, startled by the huge cracks in the walls and ceilings. They were drenched in sweat.
我来应付，你先走吧。
I handle this, you better leave quickly. Lucian nodded, leaving Luansu to argue with the staff, and quickly exited the aquarium. The turmoil caused by the eyeball was finally over. Now it was time to investigate more about Alien and the black hole in her palm. The next clue was clearly tied to Luansu.
他得知我被眼球寄生后，原本还在怀疑我的身体如何承受眼球的侵蚀。
When she first found out the eyeball was hosted in my body, she wondered how I could withstand the erosion.
但一看到黑洞的态度就变了。以他的性格，连问都不问一句。
But when she saw the black hole in my palm, her attitude changed. She didn't even ask about it. That is strange considering her personality. So even though she seems curious with Alien, she didn't shock about the black hole in her some palm because actually when she already know it about it. It's not his the first time. Lucian turned and ran out through the gap in the wall. She spotted Pelion waiting for her by the bushes, its form blooming in the lane. Pelion raised its body and opened the mouth on top of its head, and though greeting her, Lucian quickly ran over to the bushes and helped Pelion put on its hood. The creature immediately bent down and began licking Lucian's injured left hand.
就算他知道我们不希望他过来，但也会因为我受伤而改变行动。
Even if it knows I don't want it to follow me, it still came to tend my mount.
对他而言，我流血了才是最需要关心的事。
It seems to care about my bleeding hand. How? Pelion licked the blood clean, satisfied, and then started circling around Lucian. Lucian bent slightly, rubbing the hair on Pelion's neck.
把你的秘密告诉我吧。
Just tell me your little secret. Pelion opened its mouth, swallowed its tongue inside, then closed its mouth again.
关键时刻就开始装听不懂了。
Every time, you always pretend not to understand. Lucian walked into the rain, heading for the laboratory, with Pelion following her. He crawled 2 steps before shaking standing up. Leaning on Lucian's shoulder, she supported it as they moved forward together. Oh, so this road, the choice lead to that road and not that long. And the good road are very long. I save here. Let's go back to the last save. Okay, let's not override the save. Okay, this one already.
轩轩，你还愿意叫我姐姐吗？
Swan, do you still want to call me sister?
告诉我你的真名。
Chief, tell me your real name. The woman lowered her head, intertwining her hand with Pele's fingers nearly as pale as his fur while against white. Seeing her lost in thought, Lisan didn't say anything more. The sunlight, unobstructed by clouds, was beginning to feel oppressive, so she stepped under the shade of the umbrella and sat down across from the woman. Maybe Lisan's refusal to call her sister had struck too deep a blow. It took a long while before she fully spoke again.
是我高估了这世界的容量吗？那1亿的价值赤裸裸的流入后，居然会产生这样的影响。
Did I overestimate how much this world could hold? That 100 million, when it flowed in so blankly, I didn't expect it to cause this kind of people.
轩轩，不只是你忘了我，恐怕门外的世界已经没有人再认识我了吧
？Swan, it is not just you who forgot me. I don't think there is anyone left out there who even remembers I existed.
1亿的到来把我彻底从这个世界挤了出去，否则你一定会在家里看到留有我名字的东西。
That influx pushed me right out of the world. Otherwise, you have seen anything at home with my name on it. There is a clue that Lisan had lived with her. Lisan is not living alone at that house. I can live with everyone else forgetting, but being asked my name by you, I admit that stung a little. I think he is something to Lisan, someone important.
从你的名字开始。
Probably related to by blood or not. Still, let's treat it as a chance to start over from your name this time. Lisan doesn't remember her at all. Lisan's words drew a soft laugh from the woman, but it faded quickly, giving way to calm.
先握着我的手。
I'll put my hand first. She reached out, the black sleeve of her clothing spread across the pristine white table like a forbidden mark jarring against the scene. Lisan hesitated, but in the end took her hand.
轩轩，你的名字意味着美玉。既然我们是姐妹，那我的自然也一样。
Swan, your name means beautiful jade. Since we are sisters, it is only right that mine would mean the same. Also, Swan means jade. Yeah, this is Chinese.
也可以说是初次见面。
So, long time no see. Or maybe nice to meet you. My name is Liu Ying. Swan had hoped that hearing the name would trigger a sudden flash of insight, something like a bolt of clarity crashing through her mind. But instead, she felt nothing. Her memories of Liu Ying had been wiped so clean that not even a faint sense of deja vu remained.
我们之间从来没有过这么正式的自我介绍，但也只有因变故而素未谋面的姐妹，才会有所谓的自我介绍吧。
We have never had such a formal introduction before, but I suppose only sisters separated by fate and time would need something like that.
自懂事起，我就知道你叫吕璇，而我是大你2岁，因孤儿院姓氏轮替和你同姓吕的吕英姐姐。
I've known your name, Lisan, ever since I could understand anything, and I've always known I was your older sister, Liu Ying, 2 years your senior. We both got the same surname thanks to the opponent's rotating system.
虽然等你会走路，会开口说话之后，就是你在照顾我了。
Though, once you learn how to walk and talk, it was you who ended up taking care of me. Liu Ying gently turned her wrist, fingertips brushing across the back of Lisan's hand. Okay, this one doesn't have wash. I called myself your sister, and you followed me everywhere without a second thought. Even the teachers dressed up the same, like flowers blooming from different branches, but so much alike, we were close, always.
你现在说这些，我也感觉不到了。不过再往后发生了什么，我倒是知道个大概。
I can't feel what you are saying now, but I can still remember what came
我
after.
们小时候见过一次小白，然后我去了机关，你长大离开了孤儿院。
We saw Palin once when we were little. Then I left for the agency. You grew up and left the orphanage too.
接着你和我为了见到小白做了些什么事情，我还在这艘船上杀了人。
And then the two of us started doing everything we could to see Palin again. I even killed someone on the ship. Oh, this is at the flashback. There is some scene where this one killed a person. I think it's
你
is
知道这些，
the things related to the
却不知道我的
black
名
to
字。
that black hole. You remember all that, yet you didn't remember my name,
你也叫他小白。
and you called it Palin too. Your son gave a small reluctant nod.
这些事情，我甚至是刚知道的。就是你说的，我傻站着十几分钟的时候，我看到了一些幻觉，而且还是以你的视角。
I only just found out all of this, honestly. Like you said, when I stood there frozen for over 10 minutes, I was seeing things. Hallucinations, maybe, but they were from your view. Liu Ying nodded, her hand resting on her black cane.
按理说，只是穿过这团控制时空粘合与分离的物质，是不会产生任何幻觉的，更别说还是我的视角了。
Normally, just passing through the substance, the one that binds and separates space and time, shouldn't cause any visions, and certainly not from someone else's point of view.
是你身上带了什么东西，
It must
或
be
者是你
something
身
you
体
are
发生了某
carrying.
种变化所导致的吧？
Or maybe your body has already started to change. Somebody, what we happened to her. The son suddenly remembered the last time something similar had happened.
难道是灵犀留在我身体里的意识整理体导致的？
Maybe the residual Midrash Linksy left inside me. Well, Midrash Linksy left inside me.
先不说这个了，现在小白已经在这里，你的目的不只是看他一眼而已吧？
Oh, is it? This one residual Midrash Linksy, is it during the scene where Luswan are curing the Linksy back with the black hole with the currency? Well, it doesn't matter now. Palin's already here, but you did come all this way just to catch a glimpse of it, did you? Liu Ying picked up her cane and braced her other hand against the table, turning her body to the side so she could stand up with effort.
轩轩，我们要和小白一起离开这里。张开你的手心，让我看看，你走到这里还剩下多少。
Swan, I'm leaving this place with Palin. Open your palm. Let me see how much you have
所
left.
以，你需要用到我手心里的这些数字。你知道这些数字的增减与我的身体状态有直接关系吗？
So you want to use the numbers in my hand? You know they are directly tied to my physical connection, right? Liu Ying heard the wave behind Wisman's word, leaning on her cane. She stared out at the endless sea.
追寻小白的途中， 我发现异时空同位体不过是一个基础，以它为踏板，我了解到时间、空间， 超越
In
世
my
界维
search
度的视
for
角。
Pallion, I discovered that Artiva's counterparts were just the starting point. Using them as a springboard, I came to understand time, space, and perspective beyond the dimensions of this world.
我甚至将整个路程作为实验台，试图探明时空夹缝的道理。
I even used the entire Agate City as my test site, trying to uncover the truth behind the chronolith.
但是，这些都比不上你，轩轩。如果没有现在的你，
But none
我
of
会
that
孤独
matters
致死的。
more than you, Swan. Without you as you are now, I would have died alone.
所以，不要想着我会让你把数字全部耗尽，借此和小白一起回到我们的世界。
So don't think even for a second that I would change those numbers from you just to return with Pallion to the world we came from.
你要知道，现在我不认识你。
You have to understand right now. Yeah, you have to understand right now. I don't even know you.
是，我只是一个因为被妹妹遗忘而伤心的姐姐。
I know I'm just a sister heartbroken because her little sister forgot her. She looked over at least one is gentle.
你手中的数字能填补一切意义上的残缺，这也是为什么金融家对他垂涎欲滴。
The numbers in your hand. The numbers in your hand can mend all kinds of fundamental damage. That is exactly why the financiers are so desperate to get their hands on them.
而你也明白，异时空同位体不能同时存在，除非两者已经有了残缺，而使得双方不再相似。
And you already understand that Artiva's counterparts can't exist at the same time, unless something has already made them different, usually because one of them is complete, and most of the time, that difference comes at the cost of life. Yusufan immediately thought of the stone wheel and the glowing ray. Both could only coexist while on the brink of death. Otherwise, only one could remain.
如果我和小白一起走出这道门，那我和他将在互相排斥的同时进行结合，最终留下一个完整体。
If I walk
恐
out
怕
the
身体
door
要
with
比我强
Pallion,
健无数倍的小白会在这过程中活下
the
来。
two of us will repel and merge at the same time. In the end, only one complete being will remain. Pallion, whose body is far stronger than mine, will likely be the one who survives.
而我在半途就会死去。
And me, I die before I walk out of the door.
所以，你要在我们走出门的那一刻，用数字填补双方因互斥而残缺的身体。
That is why when we step through that door, I need you to use your numbers to mend the damage caused by the repulsion.
那么，我和小白都会因为
I'm
变
really
得
not
完整而
sure
存活下来，
what the most
又因为两者体
comfortable
内都已经发生了改变，
way to
而
sit.
不获异时空同位体。
Yeah, with moving around because I don't know, not comfortable. Poor life gospel. So that both of us, Pallion and I, can live made whole and no longer be. So that both of us, Pallion and I, can live made whole and no longer be Artiva's counterparts, because both our bodies will have changed. Made whole and no longer be Artiva's counterparts, because both our bodies will have changed.
轩轩，这就是我为了和小白在我们的世界见面而准备的计划。
What does she mean? Swan, this is my plan, to be able to see Pallion again in our world. So her plan is to use this one point to make change, or so that the Berlin and her can exist at the same time in that world, so that they both are not with counterpart anymore. If everything Liu Ying said was true, if the underlying principles really held up, then the logic behind her plan wasn't hard to grasp. It didn't even sound especially difficult to carry out. But what Liu Xuan really wanted to know was, when had this plan truly begun? Had it started that night, or had everything already been set in motion long before she ever stepped through that
如果
door?
我手里的这些数字不够怎么办？
What if I don't have enough love?
那只能……小白，能过来
Then,
吗？
then, Alien, can you come here? Alien gently uncoiled still from Liu Xuan's wrist, that padded over to Liu Ying and allowed the other version of itself to show its fur as much as she liked.
和小白第一次见面后，我不只是右腿瘸了。从那天开始，只要我入睡，就会在梦中看到小白所处的世界。
After I first met Alien, it wasn't just my right leg that became lame. From that night on, every time I fell asleep, I dreamed of the world Alien came from.
我因而了解到伦伦路的一切，也知晓了原本常人绝对无法企及的世界。
Through that, I learned everything about Lono, and I came to understand a world normal people could never even begin to imagine.
伦伦路是一种美妙的生物，我也很高兴能成为它的意识共同位体。
What is Lono?
但我明白
Normal people could never
伦伦
imagine.
路在那
Lono
个
is
世界的意义。
Lono is a beautiful being. If I was really happy to discover I was his activist counterpart, but I also understood what it meant to in his world.
为此不禁开始怀疑，小白生活在哪边会更好？出于我的自私把他带过来，会让他痛苦吗？
And I couldn't help but wonder, where would Palin truly be better off? Or taking it here just to satisfy myself with desire and of course his pain?
轩轩，你觉得呢？
Shishan, what do you think?
小白他救了我很多次，但我也不知道他的想法，至少是不讨厌那里吧。
But Palin saved me more times than I can count, but I still don't know what it really wants. At the very least, I don't think it hates that way. Lu Ying gave a faint smile. She could hear the uncertainty in Yuan's voice, and she understood all too well that the two still didn't share a way to truly communicate.
总有一天，我们会找到和小白沟通的办法。不过，要是你为了走到这里，那1亿元已经消耗了太多，就无法支撑我和小白一起回到外面的世界。
Someday we figure out how to really talk to Palin. But if that 100 million you use just to make it this far has drained too much, then there won't be enough to send both me and Palin out into the outside world.
只能让他从另一个出口回去。等到我们有能力解决意识空同位体的问题后，再来见他。
In that case, it have to live through a different event, and we wait until the day we are strong enough to solve the activist counterpart problem, and we go it again.
出口。对了，那天夜晚过后，你从这里去了小白的世界吗？还是留在这儿？
Is it right? After that night, did you go into Palace World, or did you stay here? Did you go into Palace because after that night you go to Palace World, or did you stay here?
人类无法生活在伦伦路的世界，
Loner's World.
不如说，
Why did I explain what is Loner's World? Is
这以后再谈吧。
it this world? Humans can't survive in Loner's World, or rather, never mind, there is a conversation for another time.
总之，我留在这里，等待小白的到来。你是想问门关上后，这个空间会变成什么模样吧？
The point is, I stayed here waiting for Palin to return, and what you really want to ask is, what happens to this space during that time, right?
开这个门的人也很想知道。
The one who opened the door was curious about that too.
是啊，他当然想，而且恐怕和他害怕的一样。门消失后，
Here.
这里就会像一个密不透风的房
嗯
间，被关上灯，
Of course she
只剩
was,
下黑暗。
and I'm afraid it turned out exactly as she feared. When the door disappeared, this place became like a sealed room with no air, no light, just darkness.
我也失去五感，只留下足够思考的意识，肉体似乎也不再有损耗。于是我开始期待你到来的时刻。
I lost all of 5 senses. Only my mind remained able to think, untouched by time. My body didn't seem to decay or change either, so all I could do was wait for the moment it finally arrived. Lu Wenshu remembered very clearly that Lu Wenshu had said, Lu Wenshu remembered very clearly that Lu Wenshu had said, this is third person, or Lusan is mentioning it in third person. Lu Wenshu remembered very clearly that Lu Wenshu had said she didn't dare taste. Lu Wenshu remembered very clearly that Lu Wenshu had said, it's supposed to be changed to she had said, didn't dare. Lu Wenshu remembered very clearly that Lu Wenshu had said that she didn't dare test that would happen to creature inside the door once it was shut. Just as Liu Ying had described it, it was because Lu Wenshu was afraid the outcome would be exactly this. The sentient being trapped in an inescapable darkness, still conscious and unable even to die.
那，你不害怕吗？如果我发生什么意外死了，或者有什么原因放弃寻找真相，你就永远留在这里。
Then,
这就是你
when
的
you're
计划。
afraid, if something happened to me or I give up on finding the truth for any reason, you will be trapped here forever. That is your plan. Happened to me or your
没什么好害怕的。事实上，你就带着小白来到了这里。
There is nothing to be afraid of. In fact, you did bring Pelion and came here. Lu Ying once again reached out her hand, gesturing for Lu Xuan to hold it tightly.
轩轩，我对计划的信心，就好比是有人拿着枪对着你的脑袋，告诉你解不开这道1加1等于几的算术就杀了你。你难道会因为紧张和恐惧而答不出来吗？
Xuan, my fate in this plan hangs by a thread. That someone pointed a gun to your head and telling you they shot if you can't solve a simple equation like 1 plus 1, or you freeze up from fear and fail to answer it just because you were nervous.
在我眼里，这计划实行的难度，无异于要你解开最基础的算式。
In my eyes, the difficulty of executing this plan is no different than solving the most basic math problem.
因为璇璇，这对你来说
While Xuan, this is something you must do. Lu Xuan instinctively widened her eyes. From the hazy fragments of memory she had recovered earlier, she could now be sure that Lu Ying had done something to her.
先和他一起出去再说吧。
Let's just get out of here together first.
你算过具体需要多少数字吗？
Have you calculated how many it would take?
那当然，我测试过他们能否发挥我想象中那样修补残缺的
This
功效。
one will try to use his point so that Pelin and her can go out from this world. Lu Ying, of course, I've tested whether they can really repair physical flaws in the way I imagine. Can really repair physical flaws in the way I
也
imagine.
借此计算了填补被意识控同位体影响的身躯需要多少数字。
And through that, I was able to calculate how many would be needed to mend the damage caused by Ativa's counterpart interference. The sun pulled off the glove on her left hand. The black hole in her palm immediately grew restless. Strands of light were pulled from it, curving and twisting into numerous.
很好，夜幕的肉片和用来提示数字的拉斯科虫都发挥功效了。
Good. The night rays flash and the last 4 bucks that indicate the numbers both did their job. The night rays flash and the last 4 bucks for the indicate the numbers both indicate the numbers both did their job.
这都什么跟什么？你之后可要都跟我解释清楚。
Also, this is to I think last buck is night ray flash and last 4 bucks. You better explain all to this to me properly afterward. Liu Ying wrapped one arm around Riswan's, watching as the last bucks near the edge of the night ray arranged themselves, and the remaining number value appeared before them. The last buck is the one that from the letter inside the black hole in my hand. I think the night ray is the black hole. The night ray arranged themselves. Night ray watching as the last buck near the edge of the night ray arranged themselves, and the remaining number value appeared before them. Yusma could feel Liu Ying's grip suddenly tightening. Even her breathing had grown rapid. She turned her face and pressed it gently against Yusma's cheek, whispering,
我们一起回家吧。
"Let's go home together."
小白在车里抱我的时候，就是模仿吕英这个动作吧？
But actually, Valiant and her is Katiwa's counterpart. Using the currency, they can go out together. So that time Valiant helped me in the car. It was making a gesture.
接下来呢？
Help me in the
出去
car.
之后我该做什么？
In the car, following the gesture. What happens next? What happens next? What happens next? What should I do once we are out? Yeah, I don't remember that one. Making her gesture. And the smile on Liu Ying's face faded for a moment. But she quickly shook her head and put it back on.
这原本是庆祝我们完成10多年夙愿的时刻，但是
This should have been the moment we celebrated the wish we have pursued. This should have been the moment we celebrated the wish we have. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce this one. Pursued. This should have been the most we celebrated the wish we have pursued. This should have been the moment we celebrated the wish we have pursued for over a decade. But well, I understand. The sun gently touched the back of Liu Ying's hand, waiting to offer some comforting words, but Liu Ying was quicker. She grasped her hand first.
没关系，我知道你想说什么，谢谢你。
It is okay. I know what you are trying to say. Thank you.
反正等我们出去之后，你能庆祝到天荒地老，到时候再说吧。
Once we are out of here, you can celebrate for the rest of time if you want. We save you for then.
那你一会儿先帮小白，因为他可能会被看不见的东西攻击了，会反应很激烈。你找机会把他的舌头塞进手心里的洞就行了。
After we are out, help William first. You might think it is being attacked by some invisible force and react violently. Find a chance to stick its tongue into the hole in your palm.
那你呢？
What about you?
这一役原本就是从我身体里流出去的，只要你把手凑到我面前，他们自然就会跑出来，填补我的残缺。
The 100 million originally flowed out from my own body. As long as you bring your hand close to me, they naturally return to fill in what is missing.
就看我能不能按住小白了吧。只能试试了。
But whether I can hold down Pelion or not, well, we just have to try.
这不难，你只要知道，这是一件不得不做的事就够了。
All you need to know is that for you, it is something that must be done.
那璇璇，我们结伴出门的时候，你都会牵着我的手。毕竟，只靠手杖走起路来，还是有点辛苦。
So, Swan, when we head out together, you'll be holding my hand. After all, it is still a bit tough walking with just a cane. Swan nodded. She took Liu Ying's hand with her right hand and helped her stand. Her left hand, meanwhile, was still wrapped by pale steel, and she suddenly felt like a kindergarten teacher leading kids across a crosswalk.
走吧。
Let's go. Coba. Liu Ying suddenly tightened her grip on Lu Xuan's hand and stopped it in place, sweeping her gaze over the surroundings. For a moment, Lu Xuan even wondered if she was reluctant to leave this place.
你穿过门之后，我才得以从黑暗中脱身。片刻的喜悦过后，我看到从你内心投射出的空间，居然是这艘轮船。
When you pass through the door, there is when I was only freed from the darkness. After a brief moment of joy, I saw that the space projected from your mind was this ship.
我真的吓了一跳，很久没有这种感觉了。
It really startled me. I hadn't felt something like that in a long time. Liu Ying furrowed her brow and looked at Lu Xuan in the eyes. This time she couldn't manage to smile.
或许过去的你已经意识到了，在船上开枪的那一刻，就是。
Maybe the you from the past had already realized that the moment you put the trigger on the ship was the moment. Lu Xuan suddenly yanked Liu Ying forward, bringing her right in front of her. Liu Ying's skin clattered to the floor with a loud clank. Off balance, she reached out to steady herself against Liu Xuan's shoulder.
我知道你过去想对我做什么，而且也算成功了，但我不想追究这么多了。
I don't know what you tried to do to me back then, and I guess you did succeed, didn't you? But I don't want to dwell on it anymore.
毕竟我什么都不记得了。
After all, I don't remember any of it.
对不起，轩轩。
I'm sorry. Hi, sorry, Xuan.
我现在对他恨不起来，也生不出更多好感。
I can't bring myself to hate her now, but I don't feel much warmth toward her either, because she didn't remember anymore of her.
但又，
So
先相处一段时间再说
now,
吧。
but I don't feel much warmth toward her either. Alice, let's just spend some time together and see.
就这样吧，我们走。
Let's leave it at that. Let's go.
等不及回家。
Yeah, I can't wait to go home. Yeah, home. Alright, time to get back. Jasper leaned over the back of the coach, staring anxiously at Lu Shu, who was pacing near the doorway. It had already been half an hour since Lu Xuan went inside.
怎么会这么久？出什么事了吗？难道进去之后是什么宇宙或者深海之类的？
Why is it taking so long? Did something go wrong? What if the space she entered was some kind of outer universe or the deep sea or something?
吕轩一进门就……
What if the moment she stepped in? When she thought grew more and more frantic as she nervously peered through the door, darting glances like someone waiting outside an waiting room. Meanwhile, Telemorph sat calmly to the side. Meanwhile, Telemorph sat calmly to the side, holding a cup of oolong tea Lu Xuan had prepared before entering. Meanwhile, Telemorph sat calmly to the side, holding a cup of oolong tea Lu Xuan had prepared before entering. Telemorph sat calmly to the side, holding a cup of oolong tea Lu Xuan had prepared before entering.
你再这么逛下去，我都要把这扇门看成手术室了。
If you keep pacing like this, I really will start seeing this door as an or entrance.
真的太久了，只是进去把小白的意识控同位体带出来，不用几分钟吧？而且我很害怕，一会儿出来的会不会是吕璇的？
It's been too long. She just went in to bring out Alice as it was counterpart that should have taken minutes. And I'm really scared. What if the one who comes out isn't Lu Xuan but Lu Xuan? why this country soundtrack. Lusan pushed aside the thin membrane that had formed in front of her. Emerging from the metal, Liu Ying had described it as a substance used to bind and separate space and time.
你终于……等等，怎么小白也在？
You are finally. Wait, hold on. Balance here too. Laurentius' exclamation echoed as Liu Ying dropped to her knees. Her body began to unravel in slow, almost cinematic motion, muscles tearing apart. Blood scattering through the air, the fragments floated gently as if drawn toward Pelion. So the reason why Liu Ying is getting become like this is because actually Pelion and Liu Ying cannot exist at the same time. So with the help of the point, lose one point, they can try to recover back Liu Ying, which in this way tearing apart. The fragment protect gently as we don't talk about
陆文
Pelion.
书，抱好他！
Liu and Shu hold her.
你们怎么能？
You, how could her?
将他救出来了，小白呢？
The Pelion, you actually saved her. What about Pelion? On the floor, Pelion was also breathing in pain. It had flipped onto its back. Pelion also affected by this. Oh god. Breathing in pain. It had flipped onto its back, belly up, limbs kicking wildly. Its jaws were wide open, and its tongue convulsed uncontrollably. Just like Liu Ying, it is once poor white flesh and viscous black wing blood spread upward, defying gravity. Its lungs straddled Pele's body, reaching for its tongue, but the creature fought back violently. Its sharp claws tore right through her clothes, leaving a bloody gash across her
小
shoulder.
白，别乱动，很快就好了。
Pelion, hold still. It'll be over soon. Oh, Pelion okay. Timing her movement with a lure in the tongue's spams, the sun seized it and pulled it out past its gaping jaws. The action sent Pelion into a panic. He lashed out again. A cross aimed for Lu Xuan's face. She turned just in time, but a shallow cut still open on her cheek. Pelion then lashed out with its most dangerous weapon, its tail. It wrapped tightly around Lu Xuan's waist, and with its strength, it could have easily flung her out the door. But it didn't. It trembled. It held her tightly, but it resisted further. Lu Xuan took the chance to press his tongue into the black wart in her palm. So the reason why Lu Xuan took the chance to press his tongue into the black wart is so that he can get the transfer the currency to Pelion so that he can recover. The surge of vertigo hit her like roller coaster drop. She nearly collapsed, all strength drained from her limbs. She slumped forward, her face nearly touching Pelion's. And only managed to hold herself up with a shaky right hand on the floor. Pelion lifted both arms and wrapped them around Lu Xuan's neck, lifting his chin until their cheeks touched.
没事了。
It is okay now. Lu Xuan felt rather than heard the message. Pelion was speaking to her, not with sound, but something deeper, more instinctual. The sensation enveloped her, palm and stretched. A conversation without words.
继续说，小白，我在听。
Keep talking, Pelion. I'm listening. The incomprehensible echo of his voice went on. Liu Xuan was tempted to just collapse and sleep right there, but then behind her she heard the sound of water hitting the floor. Echo was going on. Liu Xuan was tempted to just collapse and sleep right there, but then behind her she heard the sound of water hitting the floor. Water what? Where the water come from? The echo is what went on. Liu Xuan was tempted to just collapse and sleep right there, but then behind her she heard the sound of water hitting the floor. Liu Xuan turned around, with Pelion no longer tethered to Lu Ying as her arduous counterpart. The mangled piece of flesh that had been floating mid-air lost their target and leaned the ground. The mangled piece of flesh that had been floating mid-air lost their target and leaned to the ground. Though Lu Ying was no longer being torn apart, or Lu Ying being torn apart, her broken body was still gushing blood. Liu Xuan tried to stand, but her strength failed her. Then Pelias tail slid under her, propping her up and gently pushing her forward on trembling legs. Though Lu Ying was no longer being torn apart, her broken body was still gushing blood. Liu Xuan tried to stand, but her strength failed her. So now Liu Xuan will try to transfer the currency to Lu Ying. Lu Ying bodies are stopped being torn apart. Liu Xuan cannot try to stand up, but Pelion tail slid under her, propping her up and gently pushing her forward on trembling legs towards Lu
你
Ying.
改变了小白，那他怎么办？
You change Pelion, then what about her? Lu Ying was still unconscious. She looked at Pelion rising to his feet, a faint smile curling on her lips. Then with great effort, she leaned forward and extended her tongue from her mouth. Lu Ying was look at Pelion rising to his feet, with a smile curling on her lips. Then with great effort, she leaned forward. Liu Xuan failed to stand up. So Pelion actually he didn't know how to walk. Then prepare to the video. Pelion used her tail to move toward Lu Ying. Yeah, so Pelion also in the weak state too. Lu Ying was still conscious. He looked at Pelion rising to his feet, a faint smile curling on her lips. Then, with great effort, she leaned forward and extended her tongue from her mouth. Liu Xuan understood at once. She stretched out her arm and touched it with the tips of her left fingers. I see. Then, with great effort, she leaned forward. She stretched out her arm and touched it with the tips of her left fingers. In an instant, black lines poured out from the hole like a swarm unleashed, racing along Liu Xuan's fingers and into. Didn't know that it can transfer from into Liu Ying's body. Racing along Liu Xuan's finger and into Liu Ying's body, the tongue from began to regenerate at an astonishing speed. But the price was immediate. Lucian could feel what it actually meant to lose her life essence. Her body was slumping toward the ground, her hand barely hanging on the tip of Lu Ying's tongue. Wait, Lu Ying can stretch his tongue like Palin? Oh, that's how. Oh, that's how Lucian can reach Lu Ying. Her body was slumping to the ground, her hand barely hanging on the tip of Lu Ying's
李
tongue.
璇，
Lucian, the Talamuf rose beside her, letting her lean against him. He held up her hand to keep the connection as the blood lines began to flow. Talamuf rose beside her, letting her lean against him. He held up her hand to keep the connection as the blood lines began to slow. Lu Ying's wounds were nearly gone. By then, Lucian could barely see. Soon, even sound faded away. There was no sensation left at the fingertips, no trace of Lu Ying's tongue. She remembered the last time she lost so many of her numbers so quickly. She had coughed out blood, but this time she didn't even have the strength for that.
吕璇，
Lu Ying. Yeah, I might be wrong. Whose tongue is that? Lu Ying. Lucian curled up on the lounge chair outside the window. Outside the window, she could hear the rhythmic crashing of waves and the distant cries of seagulls. A soft breeze swept through, parting the curtains. Sunlight warm and insistent urged her to wake up. She still groggy and slowly opened her eyes. Her whole body felt heavy, her stomach rumbled loudly, and right in front of her was a dining table.
对了，我在游轮上。
Right, I am on the cruise ship. She struggled to sit up, though she couldn't remember how she got here. All she knew was she was starving. And then, without warning, a pale gelatinous lump shaped like a skull appeared in her hand. She didn't even pause. She popped it into her mouth. The relief was instant, but not complete.
好软，好
Soft
甜。
and sweet. Wait, what is that? Next came a pair of glasses made of white chocolate. She pinched them delicately between her fingers, gave them a curious lick or two, then devoured them.
真好吃。
That is really good. Before she could finish savoring the rich, creamy flavor, something else dropped into her palm, a pair of fragrant jade pendants. She hesitated, then took a careful bite. A cookie. Two flavors swirled into
又
one.
脆又香。
Crispy and smells good. It wasn't long before a tiny kaleidoscope materialized in front of her. She picked it up, peered through the center, and inside, nested like a secret, was a cocoa roll packed with a rainbow-colored sugar dust. Her stomach was protesting by now, too much sweetness, but she made herself finish it anyway. Is there more? Finally, something simple, a single sandwich cookie landed in Lucian's hand.
啊，这倒是简单易懂。
This one's easy to understand. Okay, what does this mean? She popped it into her mouth, and just as she was chewing, there was a knock at the door. 2 clear taps. Lucian wanted to ask who it was. Her mouth was still
李
full.
璇，该醒了。
Lucian, time to wake up.
是吕英的声音。
That was. It is Lu Ying. She swallowed quickly and walked to the door. The handle was cold, uncomfortably so. She didn't want to hold it for long before turning it right away. Lisa opened her eyes and was greeted by a familiar ceiling. Almost immediately, something warm and fluffy crawled up onto her. A moment later, Pelian's round face popped into her vision, then rubbed its cheek against her like he had missed her terribly.
看来比起我，小白跟你更亲近了。你睡着的时候，他可是寸步不离。
Looks like it is more attached to you than me. It barely left your side the whole time you were out.
当然，我
Of
也一样。
course, did I? She was seated on the chair beside the bed, a book open halfway in her hands. Ruslan glanced toward the wall and spotted her cane still resting there. If the 100 million had fully healed Lu Ying's body, she shouldn't need it anymore. But there were more pressing concerns right now. She turned her head. Though Pelion wouldn't stop nuzzling her, with no choice, she stayed where she was and slipped her left hand out from under the covers.
560万07,605，怎么还有零有整的？
560,000, 60,000 and 705. Wait, why are there both round and odd numbers?
还记得在门里，我说确认过修补残缺的身体需要多少数字吗？在那过程中，我也明确了这些价值的底线。
You remember what I said inside the door about calculating how much it takes to restore a broken body? Also figure out the thresholds along the way.
这段时间你肯定有过许多次被强行从体内抽走数字的经历，但并没有在你身上留下不可逆转的伤痕。
You have had your numbers possibly drained more than once by now, but none of those left any permanent damage.
但如果一次性损失太多，就会失去意识。这次也一样。
Still, losing too much at once will always knock you out, and this time was no exception. Liu Ying had casually mentioned earlier that Liu Xuan had been unconscious for several days, but truthfully, her body felt surprisingly fine. She wasn't even hungry. She slowly sat up against the headboard. Valiant took the cue and rolled it over with a soft grunt, dropping down comfortably on her lap.
那是当然，就和抽血之后会头晕的情况类似。
That is not strange. It is kind of like how people get lightheaded after giving blood.
以此类推，那些数字应该也有个临界点，保证你身体机能正常运转，也有低于某个数字就会死亡的底线。
So by that logic, there must be a critical range of numbers, one that keeps your body functioning normally, and a hard line below which, well, you die. By that logic, there must be a critical range of numbers, one that keeps your body functioning normally, and a hard line below which where you die. Liu Ying closed her book and reached out, laying her hand gently on the back of Liu Xuan's. Oh, so Liu Xuan need at least the critical. At least, the point must reach the hard line so that body can function normally. Liu Ying closed her book and reached out, laying her hand gently on the back of Liu Xuan.
前者是500万，只要高于它，你就会安然无恙，能发挥出你在机关训练里学会的所有技巧。能伤到你的人类，屈指可数。
The upper threshold is 5 million. As long as you are above that, you are fine. You'll be able to move like you did in training, access every skill you have learned. Very few people won't even be able to touch you.
后者是60万07,605，也就是你现在有的零头。
The lower threshold, the bare minimum to keep you alive, is 670,000. 600. The upper threshold is 5 million. 670,605. That's what you got left right now. The lower threshold, the bare minimum to keep you alive, is 600. is 670,605. Oh, the low. Okay. The upper threshold is 5 million. So this is the current value that she had now. No. The minimum or the minimum lower threshold, the minimum is to keep you alive is 670,000, 605. And that's what you got left right now.
低于500万以后，你会开始感到乏力、心悸、气短，皮肤也会发白，接着肌肉无力，食欲不振。
Once you drop below 5 million, things start to go downhill. You feel weak, your heart races, your breathing shortens, your skin gets pale. Then come the muscle fatigue, loss of appetite.
随着数字的减少，这些情况会越发严重，直到你失去意识。
The lower your
但这
numbers
时候你还是
fall,
不会
the
死。
harder it gets to even stay conscious. But even then, you still wouldn't die. Liu Ying pulled her hand back and started stroking Pele's fur. It looked incredibly pleased. Still swaying gently like a wave.
只有在数字少于607605的时候，维持你生命的机能才会全部停止。而这几天，你毫无疑问就处在这很危险
It
的
is
状态。
only when you fall below the exact number, 670,605, that everything shuts down. Okay, right now I have 5,607,607, 607,605. 5,607,605.
但我现在很好。
But I'm okay now. The sun lowered her head, helping Liu Ying smooth out Pele's fur. The texture was so soft, so calming, she found herself smiling without even realizing it.
我在梦里感觉到有很多人帮了我。
I felt it in the dream. So many people helping me.
是啊，双胞胎用盘蛇雕像帮我们取出硬币，然后放到你手心里。我先补上了那些零头，剩
Oh,
下的
so
是你的小伙伴们给的。
actually the reason why she gained the point back is due to the people she helped. They were the twins used that serpent statue to pull that coin from you. Then they placed it in your hand. I used to patch up the deficit. The rest came from your little friends. She chuckled, shoulders shaking as she did.
有2个女孩子脸都哭花了，害我有些嫉妒。
Two of the girls cried so hard, their faces were a mess. I was a little jealous.
他
She,
我看已经很想见到其中的某一位了吧？你感觉怎么样？
already thinking about one of them, huh? So how are you feeling? Think you are up for a walk?
要去哪儿？
Where to?
我答应了那些来帮你的朋友们，路程最受欢迎的旅玄醒来之后，就要第一时间告诉他们。
I promised them, your friends, that the moment Liu Xuan, Agate City most beloved troublemaker, woke up, I tell them right away.
但比起短信或者电话这种没有温度的接触，见到你本人会更好吧？
But instead of something cold like a text or a call, I thought they deserve to see you in person.
小白就在家里看家吧，我们要跑很多地方呢。等回
So I
来
think
再帮你一起洗澡。
this one is. But I still didn't solve one of the issue. One of the event I did finish. Yeah. Helen can stay home and get the place. We've got lots of stops to make. When we are back, we can all give you a proper bath. Helen let out a dramatic groan and rolled itself up in the blanket, completely cocooned. Yusuan chuckled and said,
你说的对，但
"You are right, but..." She paused, licking her lips, still chasing the lingering taste from her dream.
先吃点东西吧。
Let's eat something first. I hope you didn't miss any event. I since I still didn't finish. Yijun. Yijun quest. Yijun quest. Didn't finish Yijun quest. I still haven't finished her quest yet. I hope you missed it. I just streaming 1 hour and a half and already tired. As per this man. Should I push myself to read more or stop for today? Let's see here. Let's do a bit more. Yusa wandered the dim corridor, thinking that once she left the underground level of the grand court, she head upstairs for a bite to eat. She crouched to rub Pele's neck. Anything you feel like eating? Pele gave a blank shake of his head. Yusa shrugged, stood, and led it toward the exit. Something fell off. 10 minutes later, she still hadn't found the way out. I knew it. I've been walking straight the whole time. Still, not easy. Definitely a problem. She glanced down at Pelion. The organs beside his head lay flat and motionless. There are still people sitting in the shops with keys I can ask for the directions, assuming they are not the cause of this. Up ahead, a lone man strode casually past. Let's follow him. If he is stuck too, maybe I spot what's going on. But after a few minutes, they rounded a corner, and in the instant she lost sight of him. He was gone. Could he be part of the anomaly? Let's try again, this time without losing them. She turned, only to nearly jump. Lost, this one. Seems so, though it feels more like someone's keeping me here. Lin Royin long. Oh, that's her. Lin Royin lounged on a stone railing. Lucian sat beside her. Valiant hopped up too, draping his four legs across Lucian's lap. I can tell how to live, but interested in chatting first. Wait, I didn't know that he can now move. Alright, what about? Something I think you want to know why I became like this and what I wish for from the four sign nemesis. I'm listening. Don't you think Earth is terrifying? You are not talking about natural disasters, are you? Think about it. The ground under your feet is really a sphere floating in space, held here only by the sun's pull. If a stray meteor wandered in, or if the sun shifted even slightly, all of humanity's proudest works go vanish in an instant. Doesn't that scare you? It's hard to fear something so unlikely, especially something that has never happened. I thought you'd be the type to look down at your own body and feel fear. My body? Yes, what if your body is just being puppeted by your brain? That's straight out of a horror movie. Yeah, maybe a documentary. Anyway, I was afraid of too many things, so I wish for the fourth fantasy to give me knowledge of the universe. And that's why you became like this. Knowledge takes time to learn. Its form. My metabolism happens entirely in my brain. People can can learn everything in this world. That's why we specialize in some part of the things we do. All I do is lie here, think and observe. Because you may have limit. And this one want to know everything. And the statue grant him by making him like this. And his metabolism happens entirely on his brain. He became like this. All I do is lie here, think and observe. Alright, time for you to head out. Just follow someone unaffected by the havoc sphere and you make it. So it is that thing after effect. Maybe either way, follow enough people and you get out. It's like when you are lost inside, someone outside calls to you and you can finally break free. Nusra opened her eyes. She fallen asleep in the back seat. Nusra opened her eyes. She fallen asleep in the back seat of the car. Balance sprawled across her lap, looking utterly bored. A dream? Makes sense. Pele could have wandered the Grand Court with me, and Lin Royan would have chatted so casually like that. It's true, that's why I feel weird. Because Lin Royan supposed to not talk much and didn't move from his spot where he really laying down. Uh, but still, she glanced out but still the dream seems like feels real. The information, the conversation. She glanced out the window, clear skies, a gentle breeze, the perfect afternoon. I can't even remember when I got to the Grand Court. She sat up, deciding she wanted to see Lin Rohin. Using the key Yi Jun had given her, she unlocked the basement. And this is you guys cannot see it, but this is her. Using the key Yi Jun had given her, she unlocked the basement. As usual, Lin Rohin was there, fixed eyes fixed on the vast cosmos above. I just had a dream. The sky is round. The sky. That's my feeling every day. The sky. The sky is round, and the earth is flat. What does it mean? Looks like you did too. Then you remember what we talked about it. My fears. So do you still feel afraid now? I'm trying not to be. Jun takes care of me, puts in so much effort. At least I don't want to die in fear, not now. Lisa smiled faintly, pulling the team. Jun, so, so did you still feel? Looks like I understand. I just had a dream. Sky is round and it looks like you did too. Then you remember what we talked about it. Looks like you did the sky is round and I just had a dream. Looks like you did too. Then you remember what we talked about it. My face. So do you still feel afraid now? I say be agent takes care of. I'm trying not to be. Agent takes care of me. Puts it from my effort. At least I don't want to die in fear right now. This one smiled friendly, pulling the thin blanket up a little higher. Seems you have learned at least something useful. Except here, it looks like a television, which icon. The Grand Court was packed shoulder to shoulder for the comic convention. The air alive with chatter and chatter shutters. Lindsay tugged Yijun along as they threaded their way between stalls. Lindsay tugged Yijun. Hey, look at this one. It's so cute, even better made than in the anime. In anime, or they are weak. In anime, they skip. I am also weak, but from outside didn't see like whip, and I don't keep anything whip with me. In anime, they skip seam lines and some moving parts to save time. When the merge includes them, the effect's much better. Oh, so that's why you really know your style. And my whip keeps in my brain only. Yijun deepened her gaze and gave a small nod. There are so many characters here from series I don't even recognize, kind of shame. If I seen them all like you have, it'd be even more fun. See, just watching people walk around in such beautiful outfits is already amazing. I could recommend some to you. Sure, let's watch them together. Together. Yeah, you know how in anime there's always that cheesy line. You you are my first friend. You are my number one best friend. You are my first friend. I used to think it was so corny. I don't really know who is my first friend. But you really are my first genuine friend. Okay, how can you know the friend your friend is genuine? Are you sure? Before this, everyone I knew was just online, probably because meeting face to face. Well, then I do my best to be a good friend to you. I think people can become a good friend if they can casually meet each other, and every time, and also they feel comfortable with each other. Then that how you can feel like genuine friend. Well, then I do my best to be a good friend to you. But if wow, you are too adorable. Lindsay pulled Jijun into a hug. Rubbing against her periphery, looking up, she caught sight of a familiar figure weaving through the crowd. A genuine friend, I don't think is online friend, like call online friend a genuine friend. But it's different. Looking up, she caught sight of a familiar figure weaving through the crowd. Missy put Yijun into a hug, rubbing against her playfully. Looking up, she caught sight of a familiar figure weaving through the crowd. Well, this is the perfect place for them. Wow, your costume is so detailed. What character is it? You've got the vibe of that Surya series with the crooked, tall-hatted protagonist. Man, I love that series. My OC to this inspired by it. Wait, Telemorph. I don't know Telemorph is the whip too. Where you get the tattoo sticker, they look real. Hey, maybe they are real. Telemorph chatted easily with the girls, but in the corner of the eye, he noticed Lindsay and Yijun deep in conversation at a nearby stall. Oh, there is definitely material I can use later. There's oh, uh well, I get it now. So this is this one. That's right. She's no ordinary person. I've seen plenty of strange things while following her. Enjoy yourself if you want, but remember, interesting usually means dangerous. Prajesper slipped the female. Wait, isn't Prajesper? I think the bad thing about this original novel is the way how the story flows are not in order, because Prajesper supposed to be dead, or is it intentional? I'm not sure. Being killed by the temple, but not by temple, by West flowing one's picture. Enjoy yourself if you want, but remember, interesting usually means dangerous. Please especially pay the female for the slip of paper with a glass eyeball invitation code. Thanks, I'm hooked on this app already. Think you could tell me how to get more codes? when you are but the story in this game is good. It's just that it didn't in order sometimes. When you are ready to know, you find out. I call you a riddler, but I guess that makes sense. Anyway, I'm careful. I will go looking for trouble. But Jasper didn't respond, simply waving her off. Her real purpose was to get a read on Rizwan, who'd be spending more time with the twins lately, just in case he became an unpredictable factor when the time came to act. Did expect her to be this interesting, though. Jasper turned toward the Grand Court Skeleton Pole statue. From distance, she could already see the twins standing there, looking tense. Kinabalu, live on inside me. Kinabalu, live on inside me, and watch fear flowing, suffering without end. But I think what it means by Kinabalu is referring to prior Kinabalu, the former Kinabalu, not the current Kinabalu. It is you still haven't told me why you are so determined to open that door. What? Want to raise your arduous counterpart to see who can shapeshift faster? That does sound intriguing. The moth lounged back on the couch, eyes following Luan's shoe as she flipped baby monitors. I am kidding. For all we know, the you behind that door could be anything. As long as it shares my bloodline and hasn't lived through what I have, then why not tell me your story now? You won't let me examine you. You won't talk about your past. Otherwise, I'm just opening this door blind. Salamo sank deeper into the cushions, high collar shadowing his face. It remembered upon an altar, ringed by Robert, ringed by Rob, hatted figures whose eyes flickered with fear and reverence. Subtle and unsure, it had followed instinct, mimicking the form of the nearest statue. The gaps and shouts that followed marked the beginning of a century-long captivity, broken only when the capital burned, flames devoured the streets, screams tangled with smoke, and in the chaos it finally slipped free. Its fingers dug into the coach leather, brows drawing tight. If it had chosen to mimic sweat, it would have been drenched. What's wrong? Are you feeling unwell? Talamov shook his head, burrowing deeper into his collar. Memories, another day. It just give a hint on his past, but I don't really understand what this dialogue means. When we would sit together, why? We get down into the coach leather, blows going tight. If it didn't mimic sweat, it would have been drenched. Memories, another day. Alright, this is when left off with Yijun, escape from the underground temple with Yijun at the exit. The sea breeze was soft, the shore blissful. Yijun stood barefoot in the tide, letting sand swirl around her feet. I don't remember beach being so clean. Okay, my place is with a lot of trash. This one stayed back where the water couldn't reach, holding her shoes. Yeah, it is perfect. If you look like this, look from this, it's clean and beautiful beach. But I didn't yet go to a clean beach yet. Ijun pressed a hand to her wind-blown hair and kicked at the water. She listened smiled. I had seen I go to the beach which is clean, but it's not for swim. You can just saw from far. Ijun pressed a hand to her wind-blown hair. If the beach people swimming usually is a lot of stress because people are there. So of course, uh, people throwing away things. Did you press a hand to her wind-blown hair and kick her at the water, making the sun smile? Some strange creatures have been smuggled into Agate City lately, like one-eyed whales or jellyfish that grow mushrooms. The sun turned toward the sun, but even with the beach half empty, he couldn't spot the speaker. You heard that? Smuggling supernatural creatures? Yeah, I don't know what smuggling means. Yeah, and weirdly, I've actually run into all those. Something feels off. Even if it is true, maybe it is not that strange. Maybe, but to this for you, not chasing rumors. Did you smile, tugging her head lower to hide the blush creeping into her ears? The one. In the quiet afternoon cafe, only a few customers lingered. This one and Lindsay shared a corner seat, resting before their movie. This place has a VIP theater. You can lie down while watching. It is a bit pricey, though. You have been waiting for this sequel forever. Might as well enjoy it properly. Yeah, true. And the two seaters will be pushed together. This one took a sip of the cheese-topped coffee. You know, there is a serial killer in Agate City right now. Burns his victims alive until they are nothing but ash. The police finally cornered him and he set himself on fire by the roadside. The body I saw in the Grand Court, that was his work, right? Yeah, but before this one could finish, both their phones buzzed at once. A breaking news alert. This is. The Sun scanned the headline, then stood up lightly to see who been talking about the rumor earlier. The nearest customers were sitting far away in the opposite corner. How many times has this happened lately? The headline read, just now, 5 minutes ago, the Regal City arson as arson murdered burning himself to death. She sat in the passenger seat, absently toying with the new ring on her finger. Taylor was wedged in front of her as well, sprawled comfortably across her lap. Suddenly, the organ beside Taylor's head unfurled, catching the movement in her peripheral vision. Lucian instinctively tightened her grip on the steering wheel. Wait, who is this? Reading said, rumor, or this is rumor. You hear, Lucian ran into the so-called beloved child of the human mother. Wait, this is from Chrono Jotter. I remember playing that game, Chrono Jotter. The what is called the main character. And the one was a spoiler. But human mother is the things in the game Chrono Jotter. Human mother. Beloved child of the human mother. You hear, Yuswan ran into the so-called beloved. Yeah, and this time, you hear, Yuswan ran into the so-called beloved child of the human mother. And this time, in car of all places. I already forgot. I try to remember. Uh, I try to remember the game Chrono I played last year. And this time in the car of all places. Or you meet the car. Let's just keep quiet and listen. The two nearly died together, but thanks to their friends, Agate City was spared from disaster. Clearly, I keep hearing voices whispering rumors, but no matter what I do, I can never find where they are coming from. They're probably Chrono and this game same universe. And every single one turns out to be true. I see. So now you, who have been listening to rumors all this time, have become one yourself. But more than whether the rumors true, I'm curious about. Gee, do you hear somebody talking? I don't know. What is this person in the middle? But more than whether the rumors true, this is the person called rumors. But more than whether the rumors true, I'm curious about this beloved child of the human mother. It sounds unusual, yet somehow it is completely unfamiliar to me. You don't know everything either, huh? It is just a strange nickname, might turn out to be nothing at all. Yeah, you want to know more about the human mother, about the beloved child of the human mother, popular human daughter. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to seeing that kind of story unfold between you and this beloved child from Kuna daughter. The son shook her head, pressed the accelerator, and let the rumor drift away with the road behind them. And they try to put Konojote beside this him. Let's check. She had turned to side with his kids inside, with Lu Ying only to find cardboard boxes piled on the floor, blocking the door panel
陆文
completely.
书，怕我来找你算账，打算提前逃跑吗？
You went sure trying to sneak off because you are afraid I come.
看你还有心情损我，身体是没带了吧？
You still have the mood to tease me. Your body's already up then. You went sure yanked tangled wires from the equipment, dusting her hands as she approached
但我
Rizwan.
确实是要赶紧溜了。说什么研究冬眠的抹香鲸，从洛城大学那儿骗经费的事儿，迟早要暴露。
But I really need to leave fast. The hibernation study on sperm whales, claiming research funding from Legacy University, is bound to be exposed sooner or later.
因为原则上是任教授负责的合同，学校一时联系不上他的话，肯定要报警。我还是省点麻烦，先走一步。
Since the contract's officially under Professor Ren, if the university can't reach him, they definitely call the police, other than avoid the trouble and disappear
而
first.
且流光真瑶的活动肯定留下了记录，这我可不好撇清关系。真被抓到了，估计逃不掉。
Also, the glowing rays activity must have left traces. I can't wash my hands off that. If they catch me, I'm done for.
会吗？官方的人怎么会相信所谓超自然生物留下的记录？
Really? How are the authorities supposed to believe in records left by supernatural creatures? The Rensu just shrugged, saying nothing further.
不过我会留个联系方式给你，毕竟给你添了很大麻烦。我现在还是很愧疚的，什么时候需要帮忙就叫我吧。
But I leave you my number. After all the trouble I've caused you, I still feel guilty. Whenever you need help, just call.
叫了你也不会来吧？
You would have come even if I did. Rensu chuckled quietly, speechless. Lucian turned her gaze to the person sitting on the couch, someone she had expected to see
你
here.
怎么也在这儿？
You are here too? Who?
它既是门，也是钥
Oh,
匙，
Temo.
既需要时间，也需要保护，所以我会和它一同离开。
She's both the door and the key. She needs time and protection, so I'm leaving with her.
吕英，你跟他们早就认识了吧？没什么想说的吗？
Oh, Lu Ying, you have known them a long time ago. You have known them a long time, right? Don't you have anything to say?
在你昏迷的时候就已经说完了，而且我只认识怪怪四行。陆文书是我第一次见，
I already said my piece when you were unconscious. Besides, I only know Telamov. This is my first time meeting Liu Shu. Yusuan knew she was lying. Perhaps it was the first time Liu Ying had met the real Liu Shu, but the letter was essential to her plan and must have been investigated long ago.
他开门还需要等个半年左右吧。虽然对你来说也不算什么，你已经等了上百年。
The door still needs about half a year to open, right? Though, for you, there is nothing. You have waited over 100 years. Hopefully this time it
如
succeeds.
果期待能转换为好奇，那此刻我对门的向往，几乎与我和你如何相识的故事持平。
If anticipation turns into curiosity, then my longing for the door now nearly matched the story of how you and I first met.
那我就不告诉你，要你期待的 心痒难挠。
Then I won't tell you. I want you to be itching with anticipation. Talamon didn't expect Liu Ying's word and didn't know how to respond.
说一下也没什么吧。
There is no harm in telling, right?
轩轩，我这可是在为你讨回公道。
Liu Xuan, I'm just standing up for you. Liu Ying slowly approached Talamon. Clearly displeased this time, she lifted her cane and pressed it against the back of the coach where Talamon leaned.
哥哥四喜，你早就发现自己能变形的人里，居然有一张你完全不认识的脸吧
Talamon, you must have realized by now that among all the shapeshifters, there is a face you don't recognize at all, right?
肯定也试过在镜子前变身成那张脸，随后再度确信你从未见过他，并且能从这次变形中读取到些许我的信息。
You probably tried transforming into that face in the mirror, confirm you have never seen her, and even managed to read some of my information from that transformation. Talamon nodded and in a blink shifted into Liu Ying's
我
appearance.
只能感觉到这张脸是小白的异时空同位体，除此之外再无更多。
All I can sense is that this face is Valiant's Artiver's counterpart. Beyond that, nothing more.
你们俩真是该凑一起。骗我骗的最多的就是你跟陆文书了。
Since you two really belong together, the ones who have triggered me the most are you and Luwenxiu. Luwenxiu folded up a support frame and secretly stuck out her tongue behind Luisman's back. Luwenxiu folded up a support frame and secretly stuck out her tongue behind Luisman's back.
算了，最后你们还是帮了我大忙，谢谢。希望以后还能再见吧。
I forget it. In the end, you guys helped me a lot. Thanks. Hope we meet again sometime. Talamon shifted back to its usual form, stood and stepped forward to hug his friend tightly. Easily, his thoughts had to be read between the lines. But now, without a word, Lisa felt Talamon's emotions directly in her heart. There is reluctance and deep affection. Yeah, I didn't know there is a event there. Actually, I just wanted to check out the vitamin. Oh, I cannot go there anymore. I cannot go there anymore. My objective hit to the Twins parking lot ferry. Twins parking lot ferry. Where is that? Oh, this one. Yeah, before that, I want to take this one. Jasper listlessly sipped the last bit of her slush. Eyes fixed. Jasper listlessly sipped the last bit of her slush. Eyes fixed. Along with Liswans, on Kinabalu and Liu Ying, who were still talking non-stop.
这么多话聊呀？反正吕英也是姐姐，干脆她去当大货姐姐好啦。
So much to talk about. Well, Liu Ying's sister anyway. Why not just make her Kinabalu's sister?
俩人都很喜欢超自然的话题，聊到一块儿去了吧？那这段时间就由你来当我姐姐。
They were both into supernatural topics, so it was no surprise they hit it off. Well then, you can be my sister from now during this time.
好呀，虽然更想当吕璇的妹妹啦。
Sure, though, I much rather be Liu Xuan's little sister. Jasper straightened up and stretched an arm to pat Liu Xuan on the head. Liu Xuan and Liu Ying had just returned from visiting the spot where West Flowing is old pawn shop used to stand. Now it was just a cordon of patch of open ground. According to Liu Ying, Westblowing could just take root anywhere and turn it into a shop. There were complicated requirements. Normally, whenever it was time to move, it was the twins all the time who were sent to find a suitable location. But over a decade ago, Liu Ying had met the Prejesper who had come to Dragon City to investigate. Together, they found the site where Westblowing pawn shop still stood in the city today. Together, they found the site where Westblowing pawn shop still stood in the city today. That was how Liu Ying gained the chance to form a close bond with Westblowing. Oh, so it was Liu Ying who worked together with Prejesper to find a spot for Westblowing pawn shop. That's how they
原来如此，
lose the point.
是刘希亲自动手啊。
So Westblowing set it up personally.
不过上代玄龟跑来送死也无可厚非。玄龟和丹霍就是这样的。
Not that it was surprising the Prejesper came here to die. Jasper and Kinabalu were like that.
其中一方死了，另一位不可能独自活下去。只要还叫这个名字，那你们之间的联系就像是因果律那样，无法动摇。
If one died, the other could never live alone. As long as they carried that name, the bond between them was like a law of causality, utterly unshakable.
刘希最后说，剥夺了上代玄龟的名字，有什么意义吗？
So when Westblowing finally said he stripped Prejesper of her name, was there really a point to that?
当然，不剥夺的话，他也没自信能杀死上代玄龟吧？
Of course, without taking it, he probably wasn't confident he could kill Prejesper.
这两个名字延续千年，而且永远属于血脉相通的龙凤双胞胎，这其中蕴含的力量，不是你我可以想象的。
These names have been carried for 1,000 years, and they have always belonged to blood-related dragon and phoenix twins. The power in there is beyond anything we can imagine.
结果老板还是很轻松就把名字拿掉了嘛？真有那么厉害吗？
But in the end, the boss just took the name away so easily. Was it really that powerful?
我猜是因为上代丹霍死了吧，所以效力大打折扣。
My guess is because the Prekinabal had already died, so the strength was greatly reduced.
他在走到这一步之前也和我谈过，说他想报复刘希。原本我打算阻止他的。
Prekinabal and Prejesper, they want to get revenge for the Prekinabal that she's spoken to me before reaching that point. Told me she wanted to get revenge on Westblowing. You want to get revenge on Westblowing. I was planning to stop her at first. Liu Ying looked at Liu Xuan, a helpless smile on her face.
可他告诉我，上代丹霍死之前一直向他求救，喊着姐姐，姐姐。
But she told me before he
我
died,
能想象那个画
the
面。
Prekinabal kept calling to her for help. Sister, I can picture it even now.
他跟现在的丹霍可不一样，是个相当内向而且温柔的人。
He wasn't like the current Kinabal. He was shy, quiet, and very gentle. As Liu Ying spoke, sorrow welled in her
魏
eyes.
璇，你可一定要活到我死的时候呀，否则光是想象你喊着姐姐，向我求救，我却无能为力的画面，
Liu Xuan,
我就想让地球
Liu Xuan,
陪
you
葬。
better live until after I die. Otherwise, just imagining you calling me sister, begging me for help while I can't do anything, it makes me. Liu Xuan, you better live until after I die. Otherwise, just imagining you calling me sister, begging me for help while I can't do anything, it makes me want to bully the whole earth with me.
那为了地球的安全， 我可得长命百岁了。
Well then, for the Earth's safety, I guess I just have to live 100.
那是当然。所以你们也明白，为什么我不阻止他了吧？
Of course, for now you understand why I didn't stop her.
但我看不出来他的行为有报复到老板，只是把他身体的异常传到姐姐身上罢了。这有什么意义呢？
But from what I saw, her actions didn't look like revenge on the boss at all. She only passed her physical abnormality onto sister. What is the point of that?
他不会做没意义的事。我只希望他针对刘希的报复，不要影响到你们的生活。
She wouldn't do anything meaningless. I just hope her revenge against the flowing won't affect your life.
毕竟，我觉得对于人类来说，能成为玄龟丹货，并在刘希手下生活，应该算得上幸运。
After all, I think that for a human, being able to become Jasper a Kinabal and live under Whispering Roof should count as a stroke of luck.
哪有？
No way. That faint little grumble from Jasper was heard only by Lucian before it dissipated into the air. She reached out and gently stroked Jasper's head, letting her lean against her. Wait, there's more? Oh, why it didn't disappear? It didn't disappear. Okay, the next one is to... Actually, I don't understand the objective. Hit to the twins parking lot ferry. Oh, is it? Is it? Is the one? Or this one? Actually, I want to continue next time, but I just want to confirm is it really this one? No. Or it's not this one?
姐姐，
Sis. Lucy had just stepped out of the Golden Apex Tower when she saw Lucian still over 10 meters away. Without hesitation, she ran straight into her arms.
你感觉怎么样？有不舒服的地方吗？
How are you feeling? Any
没
discomfort?
事，挺好的。
I'm fine, Lily.
金井大厦似乎别来无恙，还是闪得我睁不开眼。不过失去意识张力体后，还能坚持下去吗？
The Golden Apex Tower shone as brilliantly as ever. Its glare almost too bright to look at, but without the mid-range, can you really keep going?
吕英，你怎么也来了？
Liu Ying, you are here too? Liu Ying lowered the hand, shading her eyes, her smile narrowing them into slits.
有幸一睹身居于金井大厦的千金小姐，我怎么能错过呢？
How could I miss the chance to meet the young lady who hides herself away in the Golden Apex Tower?
前几天就见过面了吧？先说好啊，我挺讨厌你的。
We met just a few days ago, remember? And I'll be honest, I don't like you.
听说他遭遇的这些事都是你搞出来的，还说自己是他的姐姐，哪有姐姐这么害妹妹的？
I heard everything he's been through was your doing. And you call yourself a sister? What kind of sister has her own younger sister like that?
如果没有你口中所说的我要害璇璇，你还能认识他吗？
If I hadn't done what you call hurting Swan, would you even have met her?
还璇璇呢？
And you even call her by her name. Lindsay had now come back for that. She quickly turned her head away, clinging tightly to Lucian's arm.
而且，你也很想叫我姐姐吧？
Besides, I think you kind of want to call me big sister, don't
哎，
you?
你别说了，你到底来干嘛的？
Stop. What are you even doing here? I think you kind of want to call me big sister, don't you? So smiling, Liu Ying walked toward them. The creep step of her cane, marking each step. She looked up, again, squinting at the radiant tower.
13年前，意识张立体叫苏征带着你来见我，因为我手上有能帮助你尽快学会控制那些胶质的东西。
13 years ago, a Midrash named Suzanne brought you to me because I had something that could help you control those colloid.
啊，等一下，你以前就认识我们？
Wait, I don't know about this. Wait, you knew us back then?
对啊，那时候你可爱多了。虽然一直因为手臂的疼痛流着泪，但被我摸摸头，还是会笑呢。
Of course, you were much cuter then, always crying from the pain in your arm, but you still smile if I patted your head. Lindsay loosened her grip slightly and leaned toward Liu Ying.
什么鬼？我一点印象都没有。而且控制那些胶质，我是自己学的。
What? I don't remember that. Besides, I learned to control the colloid on my
那
own.
时候我把手伸进袋子里，然后
Back then, I reached into my bag and Lindsay stopped mid-sentence. Something in her memories fell off.
可是这么说，我确实没换过袋子。那些透明的，
But come to think of it, I never did
我
change
现在
bags.
想起来还觉得它们是塑料袋儿，但肯定不是。
Those transparent things, I thought they were plastic, but they definitely weren't.
那时候，我给了苏征某种鱼类的鳔，它透明且弹性极佳，正适合4岁的小灵犀食用。
What I gave Suzanne was a kind of fish swim bladder, transparent, assembly plastic. It's assembly elastic, perfect for a 4-year-old Lindsay to
你
use.
当时就知道意识张力体的计划吗？
So you already knew about the Midrash plan back then.
我以为只有灵犀这一例，直到我打算实施这1亿元的计划时，才开始仔细调查的。
I thought Lindsay was the only case. It wasn't until I was ready to carry out this. I thought Lindsay was the only case. It wasn't until I was ready to carry out this 100 million plan that I really started investigating.
不然我怎么会放过他？总之，我把查出来的情报都告诉了刘希，特别是关于灵犀呢，能调查出真相的能力。
Otherwise, why would I have let him go? Anyway, I thought exploring everything I found, especially about Lindsay's knack for uncovering the truth.
这么一来，刘希肯定会把灵犀介绍给你，通过他，你就能开始揭秘这1亿的旅程。
That way, Westflowing will introduce her to you, and through her, you could set this 100 million journey of revelation in motion.
实际状况
Lindsay
也
is
和
the
我计划
first
的完全一样
person
吧？
that is from me
只是没想到，你们关系会变
to
这么
talk
好。
about this black hole thing. And things turned out exactly as I planned, didn't they? I just didn't expect you two to get along so well.
你这计划效果怎么样不好说，但就让我认识姐姐而言，确实可以夸夸你。
I can't say how much of it was thanks to your plan, but it was just about letting me meet my sister. I guess you can take some credit. Oh, the reason why Westblowing introduced to Lindsay to this one to help her with in his journey is because actually Liu Ying had talked about Lindsay with Westblowing before. It was exactly as planned. I can't say how much it was thanks to your plan, but if it was just about letting me meet my sister, I guess you can take some credit. Lindsay and Liu Xuan exchanged a smile.
连这方面都变了吗？
Even there is change. That's it. Lu Ying murmured. Lu Ying murmured. Then she turned and started toward Lu Xuan's car. She turned and started toward Lu Xuan. What you mean by started? Then she turned and started toward Lu Xuan's car.
轩轩，我去车上等你，还有别的地方要去呢。
Swan, I wait in the car. We've got other places to be.
那林夕，我们先走了，之后再来找你。
Alright, Lindsay, we go ahead. You can find us later.
好，不过姐姐你小心点儿，我对吕英真的有点害怕。
Okay, but big sister, be careful. I'm honestly a little scared of Lu Ying.
我知道，不过我现在还相信他。
I know, but I still trust her for now. The Swan reached out to smooth Lindsay's bangs before bidding her a temporary farewell. Okay, I don't know where to go. The objective didn't change. It's the same. The twins parking. Oh, I see. So the objective means that I had to go to these 3 places. That's why. So I had to go to the twins. The parking lot. Parking lot I check it. And ferry. Ferry is one. Parking lot I go. I check out parking lot. So supposedly this one. Okay, where I supposed to go? I want to end stream, but I'm curious where I should go. Okay, this one. Go to second floor to meet Yijun. Probably I had to go this one. This choice. But I will check everything. Golden Plaza. This one drove past the Golden Apex Tower, wondering when she would meet Lindsay again, as the golden reflection shimmered around her. Lindsay. This is I think. Lu Ying idly spun a globe, occasionally tapping the galaxy model dangling from the ceiling. What really held her attention, though, was the faceless figure reclining quietly in the chair. The person appeared asleep, showing no reaction to the
雨
visitors.
轩，还好你没什么事。看你晕了这么久，我差点就……
Listen, glad you're okay. Seeing you unconscious for so long, I was worried. Yijun clasped her hands in front of her, fingers nervously gripping the hem of her clothes. The Swan reached out and gently placed her hand on
别
her
担心，
shoulder.
我现在挺好。
Don't worry, I am fine
倒是
now.
你，跑来这里很危险吧？你们家里的人肯定会来这里找你。
But you, coming here was risky. Your family will definitely be looking for you.
若莹说他们只来过一次，那时候我不在。
The only team was where I wasn't there, Yu Ying said.
说到底，他们也很怕若莹不把她当家人，所以不会再来了。
Besides, they are afraid of Ruin too. They don't really consider her family, so they won't be back.
等等，怡君小妹，你是说这面目全非的叫若隐？难道她还正好姓李？
Wait a second, Yijun, you were saying that this faceless is Ruoyin, your family name Lin?
对，你认识她？
Yes, you know her. Yu Ying frowned, clicking her tongue before slowly making her way toward the door. came tapping awkwardly on the
李
floor.
璇，我们该走了。
This one, we should get going.
义军，我先走了，你一会儿早点回我家吧。
Lu Ying prone clicking her tongue before slowly making her way toward the door. Ken tapped awkwardly on the floor. Listen, we should get going. Yi Jun, I help first. Listen, we should get going. Lu Ying prone clicking her tongue before making her way toward the door. Tapped awkwardly on the floor. Yi Jun, I head out first. If you're okay, come back to my place soon. You remember the door code, right?
我打扫完就走。李璇，路上小心。
I leave after tidying up a bit. This one, be careful on the road. Lusan nodded and hurried after Lu Ying, whose skin echoed with steady clacks down the
你在
corridor.
生气吗？
Are you upset?
没有，我是在害怕。轩
No.
轩，
No,
你
but
的确
I'm
是把我忘了，
but I'm worried. So it is true that you have forgotten me.
否则你一看我的表情和行为，就能判断我的想法。虽然这也算得上是有些新鲜。
Oh, suppose if he suddenly remembers Lu Ying, probably he should know that he is then upset. Just by Lisan predicting it wrong, he just worried to your friend and me. Otherwise, just by my face and mannerism, you know exactly what I'm feeling. Though, I suppose there is a little
所
unusual.
以你害怕林若莹？
Worried. So you are afraid of Lin Ruyin.
说来话长，首先我就不希望你和他们这个家族扯上关系。
Okay, why? It is a long story. It's a long story. First off, I don't want you caught up with their
你
family.
也调查到情侣洞穴里的真相了，所以肯定能理解我为什么很排斥他们。
You have seen the truth behind the cape on Panel Aslan. You understand why I reject them so
对
strongly.
自己都不了解的超常力量带有愚蠢的狂热，为了无节制的使用它而以暴力排除妨碍者。
They are blindly obsessed with powers they don't even comprehend, using violence to eliminate anyone who stands in the way of exploiting those powers without limits.
四象大敌都敢吃，而且还是他仍然带有活性的宝浆。有这么多体内可能还活跃着四象大敌细胞的人，跟我同住在一个城市，我就害怕。
They even dare to consume the four sign nemesis. Not just that, but why its brain matter is still alive? The thought that so many people in the city might still carry living four sign nemesis cells terrifies me.
但是你突然要走的原因不是这个吧？路上我就跟你说过，义军吃了很多那东西，也没看见你有什么意见。
But that's not why you want to leave suddenly, right? You already told me on the way here that Yijun has consumed plenty of their stuff, and you weren't concerned.
而且，他和你说的那群人不一样。
Besides, he is different from those people.
是，我知道。见面之前我还以为是什么对四象大敌有独特见解的人。
Yeah,
知道
I
你
know.
明知他吃的是什么，
Before
还是
meeting
继续纠
her,
缠下去。
I thought she might have a unique insight into the four sign nemesis, someone worth trusting despite it all.
结果现在来看，只是因为他的长相、性格和声音，正是你喜欢的类型吧。
But now it is just because she looks like your type. Personality was and all, right? She looks like your type. Yusan took a deep breath, pinching Liu Ying's chin and giving her cheeks a firm squeeze.
说正经的， 你是认识林
or
若莹的吧？
he just worried
这才是你想离开这里的
about
原因。
Ruin family because he had a history behind this family. The generation, he might. Anyone who stands in the way of breaking those powers without limits, they are blind or saving power. They don't even compare using violence to eliminate anyone who stands in the way. Come on, be serious. You do know Lin Ruoyin. That is the real reason you want to live. Oh, actually, Lu Ying wanted to leave from here after hearing Lun Ruoyin names about her.
虽然我知道，他现在肯定不记得我了，但我还是
I'm
不想
sure
面
she
对变
wouldn't
成这样
remember
的
me
他。
now, but I still don't want to praise her like this. Lu Ying's rare moment of vulnerability still something in Lu's mind. She wanted to know what had happened between them,
我和他是高
so
中
they
同
both
学，
had
那时
history.
候我们俩在班上都算是被欺负
She
的对
and I
象。
were classmates in high school. We were both bullied.
果然是他。我在船上的时候有看到这些。你有跟以前的我说
So
过被
it
欺负
is
的事吗？
her. I saw illusions of that back on the ship. Did you ever tell me about it?
等你跟我见面都是20岁的时候了，
My back
我早就
already
不计较了。
interesting. But by the time you and I met, you were already 20. I long since moved
而
on.
且因为这件事，我才和林若莹搭上关系。我们自然是很聊得来，甚至可以说，我是他为数不多的
This
朋友。
is not more. By the time you and I met, you were already 20. I long since moved on. Because of that incident, I became acquainted with Lin Ruoyin. We got along well. You could say I was one of her few friends.
你去过他家吗？说不定还能看到我和他的合影呢。
You have been to her house. You might even have seen a photo of me with her.
原来那张是你。当时还想不明白，为什么林若莹在照片里的姿势有点奇怪，是因为扶着你吧？
So that was you. I never understood why Lin Ruoyin's pose looked a bit awkward in the picture. Now I see she was holding you up. Oh. Yeah, Lin Ruoyin use stick to move because she can properly stand up straight. Stick. So in that picture, I didn't notice. Actually, the reason why Lin Ruoyin pose fell outward because she support her while taking the picture. Now I see why she was holding you up. Lu Ying suddenly stopped in her tracks. She scraped her chin against the floor, then gripped Lu's arm tightly. Her eyes were wide and glistening on the verge of tears.
他真的留着照片。
She actually kept the photo.
怎么了？
What's
你
wrong?
知道他家人因为意外服毒而死了吧？
You know her family died from accidental poisoning, right?
那时候他被当作犯人审问了很久，虽然最后没查出什么证据，但是他原本就因为失去家人，精神处于崩溃边缘。
Back then, she was questioned for hours as a suspect. Though no evidence was ever found, she was already close to breaking down after losing her whole
加
family.
上无情无理的囚禁，他后来找到我，希望我能帮帮他。
And then, after cruel and baseless imprisonment, she came to me for help. Baseless imprisonment. Oh, so she got captured. She got accused of. You know her from back then. She was questioned for hours as a suspect. Don't know if that was her point. She was already close to breaking down after losing. She was accused of poisoning them. Then after cruel and baseless imprisonment, she came to me for help. Baseless cruel imprisonment.
对我而言，他是好几年没见过的同学，而且听他的描述，我也觉得太过蹊跷。
Yeah, what's tricky is who poisoned them and who poisoned the Leroy's family. To me, she was just a classmate I hadn't seen in years, and her story sounded too strange.
所以信中并不相信他，此后便没有联系。
After she left, Aku entire family suddenly died right after she left. Deep down, I didn't believe her, and after that, we lost contact. What does he mean by after she left? Aku entire family ada forgotten something suddenly died after she left. She left. So this one I don't remember what she left to. Deep down, I didn't believe her, and after that, we lost contact.
没想到他变成现在这样。
I never expected she end up like this. Lu Ying closed her eyes and took. To me, after that group event, she came for help. To me, she was just coming at you just. But the person died after she found. I never expected she end up like this. Lu Ying closed her eyes and took a deep breath before continuing to walk.
但这也是他自己选的，我的内疚也无济于事。
But this was her choice. My good won't change a thing, so it has to be this way. Behind them, down the corridor in the basement, Lin Loyin slowly stealed away. Lin Loyin turned her gaze upward. The cluster of stars decorating the ceiling felt like a projection of the vast cosmos. On the canvas of darkness, speckled with light, she heard the soft turning of stars and the rhythmic tapping of a chain. She spoke softly. Wow! Istimewa. Kita kata like a projection of a cosmos. On the cover darkness, speckled with light, she heard the soft turning of stars. Most probably, the city's origin point is not placed usually open, but it presents the soul of a city. This strategy also makes it most area. I want to stop. As of stars decorating the ceiling, felt like pressure was more on the cover of darkness, speckled with light. She heard the soft turning of stars and the rhythmic tapping of chains. The city origin point it is not a place because my back cannot stand anymore. The city's origin point it is not a phrase you hear often, but it represents the soul of a city, its history, its culture, its identity. It is usually also where you find the city's most iconic landmark. Beyond its symbolic meaning, its practical tool, distance to other cities are calculated from here, and it serves as a reference point for direction within the city itself. When people say a certain attraction lies northeast of downtown, this is where they are measuring from. Rizwan and Liu Ying had come to that place in Agate City. Agate is Lair Park, the city's origin point. Spanning nearly 160,000 square meters, it was an incredibly lavish use of space in the city, crowded with towers and high-rises. As its heart set a central part of 60,000 square meters, encircled by Yundang Lake. No mountains, no buildings to block the view, just open grass and still water, stretching as far as the eye could see. Even the sunlight seemed to favor this place, drenching it in golden warmth. Rizwan and Liu Ying took refuge under the shade of a tree, while Pelion darted out into the open field, chasing flocks of pigeons playing without care. They had already visited all the friends who had come to Rizwan's aid. Oh, they had already visited all the friends who had come to this one's aid. For this one, the objective. Oh, so this is the last place I should go. The objective. I thought it was only 3 places. I think it's not 3. Then at Liu Ying's with some of the word miss on the objective. Then at Liu Ying's suggestion, they doubled back home to pick up Pelion, and the 3 of them came here together.
今天公园里好像一个人都没有。
Today the park was eerily
有一成
empty.
原因是工作日，一成原因 是太阳晒得吓人。一成原因是中午的公园不是人们休闲的主要去处。
Part of it was that it was a weekday. Other part, the sun was blazing, and then there was the fact that lunchtime wasn't exactly prime park-going hour.
剩下的原因是我点了一个香炉，只要不是带着强烈意愿非要来此不可，都会下意识避开。
And the last reason is that I lit an incense burner unless someone really wants to be here. They instinctively steer
好
clear.
吧，好吧，
Alright. Ying's laughed softly, setting her chin across her lap. The two of them sat side by side on a stone bench, gazing out at the massive egret statue rising over Yundeng Lake.
怎么想到要来这里？难道以前我们经常来？
What made you pick this place? Did we used to come here a lot?
没什么，只是你刚从机关出来，赶到路程和我见面的时候，我们在附近吃了饭，随后坐在这里望着湖面。
Not really, but back when you first left the agency and rushed to the city to see me, we grabbed a quick meal nearby, then ended up here, sitting just like this, watching the water.
原来如此。那时候我们聊了什么？
I see. What did we talk about back
我
then?
们聊了未来，
We talked about the future. A strong gust of wind swept through the park, scattering the pigeons into the sky like a wave of white petals. Valiant stood still, eyes wide, watching their wings gleam in the sunlight like stars in broad daylight. This one turned to Liu Ying's profile, waiting for her to go on.
而今天，我们需要再谈一次未来了。关于你手心里的黑洞，以及小白到来后，我的道路会通向何方？
And now it is time to talk about the future again, about the black hole in your palm, and where my path leads now that Berlin has arrived.
不过在此之
Attention,
前，
stop.
先让我尽姐姐的义务，把妹妹心中的疑惑全部解开吧。你应该有很多想问的。
But before that,
开口吧。
let me do what a big sister should. Let me clear away every doubt in your heart. I'm sure you've got plenty of questions. Yeah, I think I save here. Yeah, we save at this one. Okay guys, I will go now. Thank you everyone, and bye. I hope you guys had a good day, and bye bye again. Bye.